Good day and hello, my name is Brian. Alright, got a good one for you guys today. Why is the day broken up into 24 segments? Simple answer is because all the clocks are. Wrong. Because most clocks actually are not broken up into 24 segments. They're broken up into 12 segments. The hours of daylight. Because most people forget that a day is one rotation of the Earth around its axis, which is broken up both into a light cycle and a dark cycle. Now, during the daylight is the time that most people usually are worried about time because, well, they're awake and they're out and about working with their things. Well, so then the question would then be, actually, more appropriately, is why is a clock broken up into 12 segments? Or why is half a day broken up into 12 segments? Well, the person who first made a mechanical clock apparently made a clock that had 12 segments in it. And because it was such a very good device, because everyone wants to measure time and have time measured, they all copied his device, which had 12 segments, and it spread throughout the world such that now the whole world has a 12-segment clock. Now, that explains why the whole world is running on a 24-hour day, because 12 and 12, 24. One light cycle of 12 hours, one dark cycle of 12 hours. Now, here's the next part. Why would the guy who made the clock break it up into 12 segments? Because like I said, he's only working with half a day, most likely. Well, since it's a mechanical clock, and because it's spread throughout the world, it most likely started in Europe, because they would use it on their ships to help mark time and actually keep track of where they're going, because you actually needed it for sailing, for accurate sailing. And also to keep track of, I can't remember if it was latitude or longitude that they actually need a clock to actually properly measure. But they do need it for one or the other. Now, because of that, it would have spread throughout the world because it would have been on the ships and they would have had to have spares in case something broke. Now, because they're all the same, or similar enough, you can always find it and always be useful on every ship. Now, again, why would the guy who made it, though, break it up into 12 segments? Well, the reason I started into that sidebar there is because he is probably European, or at least major production of it started in Europe. And, well, what type of time measurement did they use before a mechanical clock? Well, the most common probably would have been the sundial, or maybe a water clock. Well, those were two predominant uses of marking time from the Greek and Roman period. Now, Greeks and Romans, just like most cultures, actually probably didn't have clocks until they were made, and how did they measure the day? Well, as most older cultures did, is they broke it up with their major godhead figures. You know, this is the hour of this god, this is the hour of this god. They rule certain parts of the day. Such that in China, you could actually say it's the hour of the pig, the hour of the goat, because the signs of their zodiac are that time. Well, the signs of the zodiac in Europe is also 12, but they actually did the signs of Taurus, Aries, Pisces. So you actually say, it is the hour of Taurus. It is the hour of Pisces. But it's still 12, which is also one reason why the clock was so universally accepted. It's because since it's 12 segments, you can still use all the standard hours that you put the name to, but, you know, it's still 12 segments because they base it on astrological signs. And that's why we have 12 hours in a half day, and 2 half days make a whole day, so 12 and 12 is 24. And that is why we have 24 hours in a day. Now, that's a simple answer, and of course the thing is most people don't even look at that. They usually have all these other excuses and other attempts at trying to explain it. So that's all it really is. Now if you want to go into really interesting stuff, which I'm going to have to go and do some further research on my own, is why did they break their zodiac signs, their sphere of the universe, into 12? Some people say there actually might have been 13. I don't know. Be something interesting to look into. But continuing on with this very simple discussion is, of course, that's the hours. Now, why is there 60 minutes in an hour? This one, I don't really have to look up. I was actually told this answer, and it actually fit with what I was told at the time, so I'm not going to research it too much. But very simply, is the reason there's 60 minutes in an hour
is it's the first minute of an hour. It is the first derivative of an hour. I learned this back in advanced math calculus about this. So 60 is the first minute derivative of an hour. Why is there 60 seconds in a minute? Because it is the second minute derivative of an hour. And that's all it really is for those two. You know, that because you didn't really have to worry about measuring those as precisely until we actually got into the time when we started worrying about doing math and calculus and actually being more precise with time. Because before that, you have to be as precise in time. Most measurements before that time would have been broken up, actually, by the quarter hour, the half hour, you know, breaking it up into half and quarters, just like we usually do with most things. That's also one reason why that's still a very popular way of breaking up time. Why do you have to worry about that? Well, if you only know what the hours are, why do you have to worry about what the minutes are? Because most people didn't have to worry about that precise of time because most things weren't needed to be that precise. Well, there's some food for thought. I hope you have a beautiful day.